No one knows where or how you start. You just start. And I'm over here like, give me a breadcrumb. I just want to join you. Please just point me in the right direction. Sorry, honey, it doesn't work like that. Hello, all. How are you doing? Welcome to our Redonkulous Life, the podcast that helps you figure out what you want in life and helps you grow to get it. I am Michelle from ourredonkulouslife.com. I post every Tuesday if you're interested in sticking around to go on a self improvement journey to get the life you want. Today's episode is all about where and how you can start your own journey. We talked about last week my journey to self improvement, and leading off from that, I want to dive into what I think are some tips that could help you start your own journey. Where do you start? I don't know why, but as of lately, I've seen a lot of the same people posting the inspirational quotes using the hashtag self discovery, hashtag self improvement, hashtag living my best life. And it has been over a year now since I have messaged some of those people asking for advice on where or how to start my journey and never got a reply. I've slowly come to realize that these people, and I hate to use this cliche quote, but these people are only talking the talk. They are not actually walking the walk. There is no such thing as an inspirational quote that will help you clear your mind and become centered with your mental health. When I was starting my journey, as I said before, I had messaged some of these people. These people I thought could help me and provide some insight on what I should do and what I should spend my time focusing on, so I wasn't all over the place. When I got no response, I decided I would make it a goal of mine to help those who asked because it was an emotional roller coaster for myself. I was all over the place. I say this because at the time I felt like it was just one big giant secret that you couldn't self improve if you weren't part of a certain group. It was kind of like the Fight Club, except you could talk about it. You just can't explain where a good place to start is. You just give vague answers and just give all these lists of things you can do to make yourself better. No one knows where or how you start. You just start. And I'm over here like, give me a breadcrumb. I just want to join you. Please, just point me in the right direction. Sorry, honey, it doesn't work like that. Sorry for that little rant, but it's how I felt when I first started my journey. They would post inspirational quotes and aesthetically pleasing photos, but had no real substance to support why they were doing it, except hashtag girly things. There are 6 different aspects of self improvement. There is mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, social, and moral. A quote isn't going to fix all of these areas. We will eventually be going through all of those aspects on the podcast as well as my blog. But today, I want to focus on what I think could help you start your self improvement, especially if you are unsure of where to start like I was. Climb aboard and buckle up. We're going through a roller coaster of emotions. First and foremost, I'm not going to do a deep dive on this tip I have for you. I think it's pretty self explanatory, but get yourself a journal, a notebook, loose leaf paper, and a binder. Or if you're tech savvy, carry around a laptop or a phone. I always suggest a journal or a notebook because I can easily toss that into my purse or book bag and take it with me. I can write while I'm in the doctor's office. I can write while I'm waiting in line at the grocery store. I don't really suggest breaking out a laptop unless you're at a coffee house, then that's the norm. Just get something, whatever is most comfortable to you. All you really want to do is to be able to have one designated place where you can see and track the process you are making. So that's all I have to say about that. The first thing I want to talk about is why. This is a big one because understanding your why, you want to know why you are doing this. Why are you starting a self-improvement journey? It would be the whole reason on why you are starting this. Having that why can keep you on track when it comes to making a self improvement plan and then putting that plan into motion. And it's fine if you don't know your why right now. It is perfectly okay if all you know is that you have this feeling deep down inside that you need to do something because what you've been doing apparently isn't working for you, and you can see that. Your why will come to you eventually, but for now, just hold on to that feeling of, you need to change. Holding on to that feeling of change can and will open up your willingness to be honest with yourself. The point of a self improvement or a self discovery journey is just that. You want to improve yourself and get to know yourself better. You can't improve on something you haven't discovered or something you don't know anything about yet. Next is becoming self aware. When you have that feeling and have the willingness to be honest with yourself, I mean 100% brutally honest with yourself, it makes being self aware a lot easier. You are willing to go to places and depths within yourself that you've never been before. And what I mean by self aware is to look at yourself objectively. Don't be influenced by your personal feelings or opinions. Do not depend on both your mind and heart to tell you the truth. We all know our hearts and minds can sometimes fib and tell you the things you want to hear or the things you need to hear in order to make yourself feel better. One of them may be telling you just to give up, that your life is fine, while the other says just keep going, you're made for more. Don't let your heart or mind talk you out of this. Remember, you are made for more. You wanted to start this for a reason. Again, you may not fully know what that reason is yet, but don't bail because you have to be real with yourself. Don't flake because things are getting real and you don't want to lie to yourself anymore. Try this out. Get out your handy dandy notebook and have an internal talk to yourself as if you were talking to a friend. If you knew a friend was having a hard time and they were struggling with something internally, you would be interested in their well-being and would offer suggestions. You might even be brutally honest with that friend if you think they are making some wrong decisions or are going down a path that doesn't seem right for them. Wouldn't you also expect your friend not to get mad at you for being truthful? So don't be mad at yourself. Write down the questions you're asking yourself. Write down your answers. Keep yourself accountable for the things you are saying or wanting to do. With this exercise, I don't want you to think I'm saying go badmouth yourself and write down all the disgusting qualities you have and be your own worst critic on paper. I would never say that. The point of this is to figure out your why. Figure out what the ideas of growth you are looking for in yourself. What areas in your life are you unsatisfied with? And more importantly, what areas do you want to improve? And what results do you want from self-improving? We need to figure out what makes you tick and what makes you do the things that you do in the areas that you want to improve. I always used to kid around that I was neurotic. I didn't fully know the definition. I just thought it meant my weird, quirky habits and how I liked things done a certain way. In my journey, I've discovered that I might have neuroticism, which is a higher order personality trait. I've not been medically diagnosed yet, but it would explain a lot into why I would feel moody for no reason. My mood can change from happy to sad to anxious in the flip of a hat. Looking back and thinking internally, I can remember accounts and relationships where I would get in these fits of feeling anxiety and worry, fear, and then I would feel anger and frustration, jealousy and guilt. It would also explain why I would be in a depressed mood and experience loneliness even when I wasn't alone. Ask yourself those hard-hitting questions. I have a blog post called 25 Self-Discovery Questions You Never Ask Yourself But Should. I'll leave a link in the description. If you are not at the point where you can be honest with yourself, ask your friends to be honest with you. Ask those 25 questions to your friends and have them describe you. I suggest asking someone you trust and someone that you won't get mad at if they're 100% honest with you. The point of all this is to discover who you are and what you want for your life. Being honest with yourself will open up a lot of doors and windows in your mind that you didn't know you had, and bring light to how you can heal and grow. Once you become self aware, you can then find out who you are and build your own identity. And that being the next tip to help you in your journey. You need to find out who you are and build your own identity on your own terms. Don't let outsiders have an influence on you of who you are or who you want to be. They are not the bosses of you. You are your own person and can make your own decisions for yourself. Here's another exercise for you. Write out all the things you can think of that you like, that you love, and that you are obsessed with. With that list, give each item a rating of 1 to 10. 1 being, you don't really like it, you just kind of said you did. And 10 being, I can't go a day without talking about it or my head will literally explode. The reason for this exercise is to see if you like things because you genuinely like them, or if this was the influence of a parent or a boy that you like, or because you were trying to make friends. Take a look at your agreeableness. Are you a yes person, meaning you just agree with whatever someone says to make them happy and not form your own opinion? We always hear the saying, don't change yourself for anyone, ever. It's true, we shouldn't, but we've all done it. I used to fake liking sports when I was younger because the boy I liked sports. How do you fake something you know nothing about? I would love to say it's one of my many skills, but I'm pretty sure he saw right through it. It was exhausting trying to come up with things to say about something I knew nothing about. I loved singing and joined chorus in high school because I loved it so much. But when my mom said it was the only extracurricular activity I could do because she had a crush on my married chorus teacher, because of this, I almost gave up something I was in love with. Because of her telling me that it was the only activity I could do, I kind of fell out of love with it. I wanted to do it because I loved it, not because my mom made me so she could see my hot teacher. By the way, he was not hot. But because of one person's agenda, I almost gave up a huge part of myself. So don't fake liking things or let people influence what you do, because it will not get you the right people in your life. You will be friends with people who don't know who you really are or what your interests are. It's so much easier in life to just be you. When you fake liking something or fake your personality, I know from experience it can get pretty exhausting because you're always having to be someone else and you will always have to be on as this persona until you get home and you're alone in your room. The sooner you can know who you are, you can start building your own identity. It will save you so much time and hassle. Please listen to that stupid saying and don't change yourself for anyone, because it can and will always come to bite you in the ass later. The last thing I suggest for you to do before starting your self-improvement journey is to discover and develop your talents. Find out what you're good at. You might just find the friends you were looking for when you are actually doing the things that you love. If you don't know what you're good at or what your talent is, that is a-okay, my friend. This is a time to try new things. Things you have always wanted to do, things you have never heard of until someone told you about it. But don't overwhelm yourself with trying too many things. Trying to juggle too many things at once, everything could all come crashing down, and that means you might give up. Also, don't just try one thing and call it a day. Pick 1 or 2 things to try out for a couple of weeks or for a month. However, don't get upset if something doesn't work out. It will be okay. You can't be good at everything. You will fail, and that is okay. That is a part of the self-improvement, a part of the growth, knowing that you tried, knowing that you failed, and not letting that stop you. Realize that whatever you just did was not your talent. Try something else. Once you find a few talents that you're really good at, Work on them, develop them, and expand upon them. This whole process will take some time and it won't be a quick afternoon activity. Take your time. Don't rush getting to know yourself. You have to work through all the layers of family and friends and society's propaganda agendas that were pushed upon you. Again, through this whole process, write it down. Because doesn't it make you feel good when you can see how far you've come in a week, in a month, or even a year from now? The takeaway from this podcast this week, or as I would like to call it, is your homework. I'm just kidding. About the laugh, not the homework. I do think these 6 things I touched upon will help you when you are first beginning your journey. Just a recap of what those were in a nutshell. It was get a journal, find out your why, embrace your willingness to be open, become self-aware, find out who you are and build your own identity, discover and develop your own talents, as well as the 2 exercises. Have an internal Frenchtervention with yourself, and then rate the things you like, love, and are obsessed with. I hope you guys enjoyed these tips and decide on following Our Redonkulous Life to help you in your self-discovery journey. Please leave me a good rating. It is much appreciated. And as always, come find me on my social media pages to connect with me outside of the podcast. Until next time, have a great day.